Do you love breakdowns? Do you need stats? Do you crave insight? Download the AllStar app. UFC, Bellator, PFL 1 Championship, and more. Ad-free, fully customizable. Download the best app in the business. Link in descriptions. Now the next topic is Fedor retires. Is he the best heavyweight ever? Clint, tell me. Let's erase yesterday's performance. Is he the best heavyweight ever?
Yeah, man. Anytime these legends retire, you got to carve out like the last 4 fights and just toss them out of the bracket. They don't count anymore. It's these legend fighters hanging around a little too long because they can't quite hang it up on time. They all do it. You know, BJ Penn is a perfect example. Like, I mean, Fedor's got maybe the best resume as far as arguments for greatest heavyweight of all time. Like, if we want to talk about, you know, we can put these guys in a capsule, you know, close them down, say, this is your exact moment, your exact prime, and then run a tournament of these prime fighters. Like, you know, guys like Cain are going to be in that argument, but he doesn't have the resume. He doesn't have the long history. Like, you know, that's where the conversation becomes really difficult to pin down who is actually the greatest heavyweight of all time. And frankly, we got to give a shout out to the guy, Daniel Cormier. Like, he did things that nobody expected from him, being the UFC's, you know, 2-time champion, the trilogy fight with Stipe. Like, Daniel Cormier's name belongs on that list as well. I do think because of the longevity, because of the illustrious names, because of how he was a legend kickstarting MMA, you know, he's one of the pioneers. I've got to make Fedor the greatest heavyweight at this point. I don't know that he's going to retain that position. I do think there's people that can possibly catch him, but the current state of heavyweight MMA is these guys can't hold the strap for more than 1 or 2 fights in a row because everybody's so damn good now. There is no head and shoulders above everybody else like there used to be. So yeah, I think Fedor's a guy you got to kind of tip the cap to, show some respect, and say at this point he probably is.
Yeah, I agree with you, man, on all fronts right there. If you look at the resume top to down, you know what I mean, and you know, just taking out the best ever, he's just the icon. He is just a pioneer. Those 2 words you can describe him as. And yeah, Daniel Cormier, of course, man, you got to throw him in there, and Stipe as well. But Fedor, man, is just, I think Fedor's name will last longer than Stipe's name. I don't know why. I just think that it will last longer throughout the history when we're all dead and gone. I think Fedor will always be there. Stipe, I don't know for sure. You know, Francis had his chance, but it doesn't seem like he's gonna be fighting MMA. Maybe not. Who knows, man? It's you know, undetermined. But yeah, DC is gonna be there. DC is gonna always be there. He's gonna live because he's a commentator as well. So we're always gonna see his face. So we're always gonna be reminded of DC and his accolades. But yeah, Fedor, to me, he is Mount Rushmore type of fighter. He is a Hall of Famer. He is a legend, an icon. And you can't say that about everybody. You can't. Not even just pound for pound. You can't say that about everybody.
We're talking legacy, and that takes the
yes.
conversation in a different direction.
Yeah, and when because I remember I watched UFC when it first started with Royce Gracie back in the early 90s, and I stopped watching it after that. And then I started rewatching it in around 2004, 2005, and that's when Fedor was fighting in Pride, and that kind of sparked my interest in MMA again. And this always will last in my memory, you know what I mean? Like the fights that Fedor put on, like the comebacks as well. You know what I mean? Those comebacks that he had, you know, where he got slammed on his head by Kevin Randleman and then ended up finishing him like not much longer after that. You know, fights like that with Krokov, you know what I mean, with Nogueira, you know what I mean? Like he armbarred Hong Ban Choi, you know what I mean? Like the guy is like 500 pounds and 7 feet tall, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. That's just unbelievable stuff. We will never see ever. We will never ever see that again in fighting. And he did all that.